Hi lads, I'm Kalex, and in this video you'll see how I reached Master with 90% win rate playing Fiddlesticks jungle. Enjoy. As mentioned, I'm Kalex, and I recently did a challenge where I tried to get to Master tier playing Fiddlesticks jungle with no prior experience whatsoever. And since it was my first time touching jungle role for the first time in my life, then I don't know. Take things with a grain of salt. Some things may be incorrect when looking it from when like a challenger player would look at it. So I don't know. Nonetheless, I 1v9 through every single elo, starting from silver up to master tier, where I got with 90% win rate. I only count the Fiddlesticks games because the account already had some games on it, so that's why I only got those. And in the end I lost about 8 games in total. I lost like 5 games in diamond, and the other 3 was, one of them was in gold, and the other 2 were in emerald. And to be totally honest, then I could have avoided like at least 1 to 2 losses in diamond at least. But I kinda got bored of the role, so I didn't pay as much attention to the game as I should have. Next up we have runes. And personally, every single game I played Dark Harvest Keystone because I find the first strike quite useless and it doesn't really fit my playstyle either. Then followed up by Cheap Shot, Eyeball Collection and Ultimate Hunter, which I think are the best for Fiddlesticks jungle out of Domination 3. As of secondary runes, I went for Sorcery, where I took Absolute Focus and Water Walking from. The reason for Water Walking is because movement speed is the most broken stat in the game. It helps you with counter ganks if you're walking through river. It also gives you some AP there as well. And the reason for Absolute Focus is because I think this is the secondary best one you can get in the jungle role. Especially Fiddlesticks, as you're gonna be full HP majority of the times when playing in the jungle. As, I mean, you're pretty much playing hide and seek. And of course you wanna take double adaptive and flat HP because it helps you with clear. Now to itemization. I have 2 main builds. First one being versus tankier champions, or like overall champs that stack HP. Usually they consist of melee champions. And that's when I go for Leandry and Stork Shoes. I always buy the blue smite, because yet again, as I mentioned, I like movement speed. It's the most broken stat in the game. And when you get it stacked, you are faster you just move faster around the map, and it's just insanely OP. And after that, like Leandry, it's usually situational items. Since every game is different, you can never really say what item is good when. You just need to think about it yourself, and you just need to choose which one is the best at that situation, right? I think it makes sense. For example, enemy team is stacking MR, you go weight stuff. You are snowballing, you can go Magi. You are snowballing, even harder, you can even go Death Cap. Enemy team has, I don't know, Nocturne, Twisted Fate, Janna, something that can push away. You go Banshees, same reason why you would go Zonya. Or if they have a reset champion like Viego, Belveth, yet again you go Zonya to deny their reset. So just think about what do you need at each game, because it's quite hard to like just put a build down, build it every game, because every game is different. And as for my second build path, it's mostly when you play against squishes and range comps. So there might be like 1 melee champion, 4 ranged or something like that. Then I go for Fated Ashes. Usually your first pack depends how much gold you have. If you manage to get a gank before you reset, then you go for Stork Shoes. But usually after a full clear, you have enough money to buy Fated Ashes. So you go that, and then you build Storm Surge. Now, people might not agree with me, but when I have told about other Fiddlesticks players about this item, they have liked it. And I think it's OP, especially after the buff that it got last time. I think it has 14.17, 16. Or, if you don't like it right now, next patch 14.18 is gonna get even more buffed, by the way. And yet again, this gives you movement speed. You are faster around the map. Whenever you go through a bush, right, or you are walking in the river, you have approximately 500 plus movement speed. You're so fast on the map that you can just counter gank pretty much every lane. You get to places faster, you get to make plays more often, you get to make them faster. Like overall, I think this item is OP. Also, whenever you combo with Fiddlesticks, right, you will always get the Squall passive of it, which gives you movement speed and the explosion thing, right, on top of them. Now that movement speed is incredibly OP against range champions because you actually get to move next to them, meaning majority of the times you will get your full ultimate onto them. And after that, usually if you haven't bought Storkshoes already, you go for Storkshoes. Also, not to mention about Stormship, by the way, its build path is amazing, by the way. You can unironically, you just get Aether Wisp and you have approximately 370 movement speed just with boots. With this alone, you have around 350, 60-ish. So already you get AP and movement speed in 850 gold. Like, it's incredibly built up. And since now we have Faded Dashes in your inventory after Storm Surge and Storkshoes, I go for Leandre because the Baitfire Torch is a garbage item. I don't recommend building it. So I just go for Leandre. It does way more damage than Baitfire Torch does. You don't need ability haste. You don't need that mana either. So you just go this, better item. And now, I mean, these are usually core items, right? Now comes the situational items. And the thing is, majority of the games, you are gonna be building Shadow Flame because Flat Pen, yeah, Storm Surge and Storkshoes, they pretty much like scale with each other, right? So the more flat you have, the better it is. So usually Shadow Flame, but as I mentioned, think about the games. What do you need? Yet again, if you're full AP, you're not gonna building Shadow Flame third. You will go White Stuff. It's better because it has percentage magic pen, right? Or there's even a world where you can go Death Cap. Yet again, Bungie as well, and Zonya, the same reason as you would buy them with the first belt that I mentioned. Malignance, Scriptlum, and Rocket Belt. Now, I think that they're bad items. Especially if you have Ultimate Hunter. You don't need Malignance. The only reason you would ever buy it is because the ultimate hates either way. And since you don't need it, no need to buy it. Scriptlum, pretty much the same reason as why you would build Malignance. It has abilities, you don't need it. Because in jungle role, your champion only does one rotation. And you don't really get anything from the abilities. And then Rocket Belt, abilities is still there, right? Which you don't really need. And the dash is like so irrelevant that the active is not really that useful either way. So my recommendation, do not buy those 3 items. And whenever it's possible, try to go Storkshoes as your first item. Now, before we get actually into the game, we gotta look at the pre-game state, right? Now, what you wanna do in pre-game is make a game plan, and that's gonna determine you how you play the game, where you're gonna path, and what you're gonna do. First of all, you wanna ask yourself those 5 following questions. They're gonna be on the screen as well. Who has prio? Who can you gank? Who is your win con? What is your jungle matchup? And can your laners actually die? Answering those 5 questions can help you win your game way easier, as you need to do less thinking at the beginning of the game because you already have a plan, and it's gonna win you more games overall. My golden rule is to buff bot lane whenever you have an engaged champion, like Nautilus Roll, and usually away from them if they are playing an enchanter. Unless you know that your bot lane can get dove. In that case, you need to buy bot lane to cover them. Another tip to point out is that I almost never gank mid lane because it's really hard to gank this role, so usually I just ignore it. Let's take this game as an example. Who does have prio in my team? My bot lane has prio because they're double ranged. My top lane should have prio as well. Who can I gank? Well, only one I can realistically gank is bot lane, but only after level 6. Pre-6 there's not really anything I can do because I have no setup there. And of course, top lane. Who is my win con? Well, my win con is, it could be Kai'Sa, it could be Gwen. Both of them are capable of carrying this game. But in this specific game, I find Gwen as the main win con because if I get her ahead, there is absolutely nothing any team can do because there is just simply nobody that can answer Gwen split push later on. And I'm good at team fighting, so I can nullify rest of them, right? Who's your win con? As said, my win con is Gwen this game. What is jungle matchup? It's a Momo. I know he won't be invading meta game. Can my laners actually die? Well, my bot lane should never die in this matchup, unless they get ganked by a Momo. And they're never really gonna get dove either because there is just nobody to tank for that long. Maybe they can do it after level 6, because then Shaco can drop aggro. But at that time, I'm gonna be 6 as well, so I will be there to counter gank. Therefore, my game plan this game, I'm gonna play topside, I'm gonna get Gwen ahead, I'm looting at 6 grabs, and snowball off that. Now that we have answered the questions, and we have ourselves a game plan, it's time to get into the game. So I'm gonna use LOL Planner here, and in game of the game you just saw from the loading screen. So, first of all, you wanna stand to cover invades. So the place I usually am, I stand here to cover this entrance. And whenever I play blue side, I stand right here. So that's gonna cover this entrance. Now, if I know that enemy team might invade me, that they have a champion that can do it, then before I do my camp, I'm gonna look it from blue side's perspective. I look to ward this bush over here, and on this side, I ward this one. You can pretty much do the same here. You can ward this one, and you can ward this one. So pretty much your goal is to ward entrances, right? So now when it comes to doing camps, what I did at least, yet again, I don't know if this is correct, because as I said, I've only played jungle for 70 games. That's how much it took for me to get the master with it. I did wolves when I started blue side on blue side. I went wolves, then I went for Chrome, and then I went for blue buff. Because what enemy jungle might do is to do, let's say this is like, I don't know, Kindred for example or something. They might do red buff and then walk like this and come here. So if you start wolves, by the time enemy Kindred arrives, blue buff is gonna be half HP and Kindred wins 1v1 against you. So to avoid that, I did wolves. Then you go for frog. It's gonna slow down your clear, yeah, but it has a chance of you living, actually getting some camps, and not letting Kindred snowball off that one dash that you could possibly get. So, and then you do that. So you can do the same thing on red side, by the way. You can start this thing, then you can go here, and then do this. Yes, at the end it's gonna pay you some time, but at least you won't die. Now, majority of your games actually go the same way when you play jungle. At least that's what I experienced. Like, almost every single game I did the exact same thing with a few exceptions. What I did was I just cleared to have an opportunity to gank. I don't, back, clear again, and that's pretty much what I did. Of course, I tried to play according to my game plan that I played earlier, and that's what I just did in the laning phase, like in the, I guess you could call it laning phase, because I mean, it is laning phase. Now, there are a few exceptions, as I mentioned. One of them being is if enemy jungler decides to triple gank bot lane. Now, let's say you started here. You should be around here when enemy jungler is ganking bot lane. Now, instead of using your camps, look at your laners. If possible, you want to go like this, and you want to go invade, right? You want to take their top side, because now you have taken your top side, then you have taken their top side. You're gonna be up by 3 camps, and then enemy jungler is gonna be behind, right? Because what he does, he goes bot lane, like whether they die or not, it really doesn't matter. Then they go recall. Now their only play left is to go top side, right? But he also has top camps, so what is he mostly gonna do is either gank top lane straight away, or go bot lane. Now, most likely you're gonna go gank top lane, right? So you do this, and then you just go do your camps. Or, before you can, if there's an angle, you can go top lane, kill top, and then go do your camps. Because you have the tempo. So you might as well use it. Every single time you see enemy jungler, that's gonna give you a window to track them. So, meaning, let's say, yet again, you are starting top side, you don't know what enemy jungler is doing, you don't know where they are, you just do your regular camps, right? Now, let's say your mid laner warded here, you see them? Okay, that gives you, yet again, information. Keep in mind, 1 camp equals 4 minions. If you press tab, you see, okay, they have 8 minions, they have done 2 camps, meaning they have 1 camp left here. Mostly they do like this, and then they go here, meaning they have 3 camps done, right? So, what does that give you? That actually gives you so much info, by the way, like, it's crazy. So, what you can do now is, you can just go here, do the regular thing, you know you are gonna be safe here. Now, you're a jungler, right? You can spam bing this area over here. Give your top lane info. Yo. Spam it. Danger, enemy jungler's there. Now, if your top lane listened, congrats, they didn't die. So, what happens next? Timer, 4:15 by the way. 4:15 is when the first camp that they did after the, let's call them like big camps, right? Big camps like red and blue buff. If they did red buff, then 450 in this camp is gonna spawn here, right? So what you can do that with that info is that if enemy jungler didn't reset, they went for top lane, and you haven't reset that, then you can walk like this, and you can actually go do this camp here. That's what I did quite a lot, to be honest, because I kind of like playing aggressively. Like, that's my game style. That's why I do movement speed as well, so I can move faster around the map. That means go enemy jungle faster, get camps, get out faster, right? So you could do this, and then do this. Also, have effigies to work. Now, if enemy jungler doesn't show up after like 40 seconds, that means your camps are done. That means you no longer have top camps. Also, one full clear with scuttle grab gives you 28. Keep that in mind. If I don't know, he can top lane, he went here, he has now 36. That means your top camps are done. You most likely reset, meaning okay, 36. You no longer need to walk top lane to check your camps because you know they're gone. Meaning you can go straight to bot lane. This one should be respawning by the time you get here. Then you do this, you can do this, then you go gank bot lane, and that's pretty much like tracking enemy jungler and playing according to that. When it comes to playing mid game and late game, then you pretty much have objective of wanting to push your lead, meaning take enemy camps, take objectives such as Nash, towers, dragons, anything that you can like push your lead with. Let's take this for example. I have Quen, who was winning top lane, meaning this area right now is pretty much mine, so I can walk up and do this. Because in League it's like every single time you play, right, you have this like line. You have line. Now let's say my top laner won. So they go down, right? Because my top is winning now. Now this line is no longer like this in the middle, but now it goes like this. So it's gonna be like this. Now I expect my bots like losing, you know. It's like it goes like this. Meaning I can go and play topside for free, because I have my top laner here who's winning, and my mid lane can win as well. And if you play 3v3, then we're gonna hard win, because I'm Fiddlesticks, I have a hard winning top lane, and my mid lane's even. Also, you wanna track your teammates' recall, meaning you don't wanna creep your tempo, because tempo is one of the most important things in League, right? If you see that your bot lane, for example, is recalling. Now this is mid game and late game, so I guess we would just put it like here, you know. So what you want to do is, you see your bot lane recalling, meaning you kind of want to recall at the same time. So you would all three arrive at the base, and then you're all on the same tempo. Meaning you can move S3, you all have an item advantage, and you can move S3 on the map. So always keep in mind on your teammates' recalls, you don't want to increase tempos. Because now imagine this, they recalled, you decided to do one extra camp, meaning they are gonna be here when you are there, so enemy has more units, they can push, they can take easier control, you're forced to fall back, you lose control here. What happens if you lose control as Fiddlesticks? It's hard to gain it, meaning this place here is dark, you cannot take Drake, you lose Drake, boom. You failed your play, and it all happened because you decided not to recall. So look at your teammates all the time. Because especially as a jungler, if you're doing like, I mean this like applies to early game, but like even if you're mid game, you are doing camps, pay attention to your teammates, what do they do? I usually just click on the minimap, I click on minimap, okay, see there, click space, look at myself, click on minimap again, click on top lane, look space, and just do that. And now it's time for tips and tricks. Now, I use them in my games all the time, so if you manage to implement them into your game, then you're gonna be winning more games as well. Also, majority of those things were already discussed in the video, so you could say that this is like a slight TLDR. First of all, you wanna use cross-map plays all the time. Just do them, it's gonna win you so many more games than you can think of. We wanna make sure you don't look at your character when you do camps, meaning, as I said, I press a minimap on the lane I wanna see, and then back to your character, and then you keep doing that. You want to ping when enemy jungler is, if you know that they're for sure there. If you saw them finish raptors, you know that their next camp is gonna be wolves. So it doesn't hurt spamming on the map, as you're just hitting camps either way. So you might as well give your teammates info where enemy jungler is. Info is the most open thing in the game. You want to be creative. Because League of Legends, in the end, it's a game. You want to be as creative as possible. Don't be stuck in the same thing that you saw in this video or you saw somewhere else. But creative, think every game is different, think outside of the box, and just play. And of course, fifth, do the Fiddlesticks jungle clears. I will be having them as well after this one, so make sure to do that, because Fiddlesticks is like one of the only champions that can, like, you could say, double camp when it's like, I mean, yeah, technically it's not double camping, but it is. Just to mention that my jungle league is not the most flawless, so I'm sure if you're a jungle fiddle OTP, you know them better, and if you use the other information that they gave you, I'm sure you can easily reach master tier as well. Also, this red cycle there, you can do on the red side as well. And we have reached the end of this guide. I hope you managed to learn something new, and that maybe you can have an easier time climbing now. I truly think that Fiddlesticks jungle is really good champion for climbing, especially in low elo, where people make a bunch of mistakes. If you have any other questions, then make sure to put them in the comments below, and I'll try to answer every single one of them. So until next time, thank you for watching, and I'll see you around.